Hey everybody, and welcome back to another exciting episode of the VOD Squad. This is episode 112, day after Christmas 2018. I am Clyde, and today I am joined by Jimmy Trammell.
Happy Kwanzaa, everybody.
Happy Kwanzaa. And Matthew Ross.
Well, hello.
Hello. How you guys doing?
Gosh, Christmas is over. went back to work today. Yay!
Yeah, it was It was a lot of people with dead eyes walking around going, why didn't I choose to take this time off?
I believe I was one of two people at the school district today. I believe there was another teacher who decided to come in and do something, but nope. Basically, it was me and my servers and moving virtual machines between new boxes and fun things like that.
My commute took 15 minutes, and that was from house to parking garage today, which shows you just how close I live, considering it's normally about an hour commute.
Oh,
wow.
I'm so sorry. I'm sure you're waiting for Mr. Musk to put in some more of those tunnels for you, because obviously those will fix everything. All right?
I don't use the tunnels that are already there. Well, in Minneapolis, we've got the series of habit trails, like the hamster habit trails that connect the buildings. But then there's also the old ones that are underground, like under the courthouse, and you can get to different places. But
that it is Wabbit Magic, quite boring. Yeah, well, the question then comes up. Obviously, tunnels didn't fix the problem. Oh, come on. I don't understand it. Why didn't it fix the problem? I mean, it's going to have to be some very complicated tunneling to make a big difference in the world of our automobile problem, traffic problem in particular. But that's okay.
But it was nice. There was basically nobody downtown, and for the first time in a long time, I wasn't angry when I got to work.
What?
I know.
You got there
and then
early?
What am I going to do with the rest of my day? I don't know how to start off my day without being angry.
Yeah, are you one of those people that are more productive when you're upset about what's going on, just gonna get work?
I don't know, because I'm not usually doing. If I'm not angry, I'm not usually doing anything. So maybe.
Now you just need to just go meta. I'm angry that I'm not angry, and just go ahead, let it go, and just get angry about that, and then go ahead and do your thing.
And Wabbit Magic makes a valid point. It's even better if you don't have to go back to work until the 2nd.
Yeah, well, technically, I wouldn't have to go back till the 3rd if I took all the days off for winter break, but I try to get stuff done.
I mean, I do have about a week of PTO left. I'm just going to cash it in, because I get all my days up front. So as of the 1st, I'm
I wish we could do that. Now, for us, we either have to use it or lose it. And I am on PTO this week, all the way until the 2nd.
Yeah, you can carry over up to a week, but yeah, I mean, on the 7th, we're off to CES, so that's a week vacation right there. Although I do more at CES than I would during a normal week. I am so exhausted. I have to go back to work to relax.
So I have a question then, since we are going to be doing our we have the Streamathon coming up on. I believe we're doing stuff on the 1st. On the Monday. Are we going to have a show on the 2nd then for us? Are we going to have a normal show?
I would assume so.
Okay, so we'll probably do something like a predictions show for us.
I would assume so. Yeah,
something like that. So, okay,
we'll figure something out. But we will be participating in the Streamathon at 5:30 Eastern, I believe it is. It's out there someplace. I don't even know where the schedule is.
I actually looked for it. I was looking on the sites looking for where's the Streamathon information. But somebody needs to have that information available so people who are going to be there can double check it.
That is my responsibility to give it to you because it was emailed. We'll be there raising money for the kids.
Who's our
talking
sponsor
about
this year?
Stuff.
You know who our sponsor is this year?
I don't.
Oh. Okay. Oh well. No big deal.
Steam just decided to tell me that Stephen Cogswell is playing a game.
Thank you, Wabbit. Wabbit gave me a link.
Steam. All right. Well, hey, it's still December. This is our last show of the year. Last normal show of the year. What do we have to talk about this week?
Well, we're going to start in places that are not the United States, starting with a nice story about Amazon Alexa. Apparently, we had a bunch of people who purchased things for Christmas presents, especially Amazon Echo products, and so many so that on Christmas Day, the whole bunch of people turned on their devices to have them not be working. They went ahead, particularly in UK, Germany, and other parts of Europe. We're finding a lot of them with a page that we're not able to talk to them. The Down Detector was showing outages all over the place, and so congratulations, Alexa, you're not available right now.
On one hand, that is something that Amazon can brag about in the fact that they sold so many that it caused a problem.
Go ahead, spin it. That's right. That's what you should do.
On the other hand, from the user standpoint, that should be that's unacceptable.
Spin it both ways. Yes, they have so much stuff and so many things that obviously it's working so they have so much.
Who does Amazon think they are? EA?
No. No, but also that will spin it the other way. Obviously, they don't have the infrastructure in Europe to handle what they needed to do. Come on, they're so U.S. centric. What's wrong with these people?
Or at least the ability to scale.
I was going to say, doesn't AWS advertise the fact that they're able to scale?
Just goes on. Come on.
So apparently, this wasn't an Alexa problem. This was more revealing about AWS in general.
That's fun. It also could be like somebody with more understanding of exactly what goes on in the background could tell us that actually it takes a lot of processing power to do all that talking to the Amazon Echo, and so.
Yeah, maybe. Well, the cloud is the future, right?
Yeah, something like that. Android TV is also, for more news outside the United States, Android TV is picking up a lot of marketplace if you're somewhere outside the United States. Looks like they've been getting a lot of ground in Sony devices and the new JBL soundbar. Westinghouse devices are picking up very popular in other places around the world, particularly Europe and Asia. So it looks like these devices are being very popular. Very much like in a lot of places around the world, some United States company is popular, and the other one is, it's everywhere else. It's just Google.
Yeah, there are a lot of TVs out there that are Android based, but it's more common overseas, and it has been for a long time. Even over the last couple of years, I know when we first started first started the show, I was complaining about the fact that even though like 3 or 4 of the major manufacturers here produced Android TV built in, the numbers weren't available. Primarily Australia, like almost every TV there that was a smart TV was an Android TV. But
it looks like another part of this story is that there's a lot of these pay operators for television services are actually using the Android platform because it's open and free and available. So it looks like because of that, it becomes easy for these the pay platforms to use it.
There's no downside really, especially for Google.
But what I wonder here, what it says, or at least the way that I view this, is that maybe in Europe and Asia they don't sell too many set-top boxes. People just use the software that's on their TV.
Yep.
I mean, if the software on your TV is good, then why bother with another set-top box, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess maybe
if it meets your needs is what I mean.
Sure. I mean, it certainly makes sense. I guess maybe I have, and maybe here in the States, we've, as a country, we've gotten used to having that set-top box, and everybody gets one, it seems like, right? But maybe in Europe and Asia, it's different there.
Probably. I mean, could just imagine the Chinese brands all, vying for the sex. You're making these boxes as cheap as possible for them, and so they're probably looking for the cheapest and easiest platforms to make.
I know me has several Android TV models that aren't available here in the U.S. So yeah, I'm not surprised by this. So I'm glad to see Android TV getting some love someplace.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So Samsung has got their, they're very popular televisions across the board, and they've had their own assistant software that they've had for a few years of Bixby, if you like that thing, which hasn't proven to be very popular with a lot of people yet. Which is interesting because now it looks like Samsung's new lineup of TVs for 2019 will also support Google's Assistant along with Bixby. So that means maybe we're again, this is the battle lines being drawn between various different providers. It seems like it's becoming a two-horse race between Amazon's Alexa and Google's Home and Assistant. So
Samsung was already producing Android TV, smart TVs, because go back about 3 years, I think it was, maybe 4, when Sony, Sharp, Samsung all announced Android TV inside. This was before Bixby, so they've already been doing it, but the fact that they're going back to it, I think, is telling.
Very much so.
I wish Mike was here to comment on the Bixby.
Did he?
It was our experience was not good.
Oh yeah, the CES.
Yeah. Yeah, even on Rails, they couldn't get it to work right. So
it's just interesting to me why Samsung would choose Bixby, right? Why wouldn't they choose either, Alexa or?
Well, they were doing Bixby because that was part of their Tizen Android replacement. Because if you remember, Samsung wants to be Apple. They don't want to use Android. They want to use their version of Android. They want to sell. They want to lock people into their own ecosystem so they can, keep selling them their products. And for some people that's good, but I don't know. I'll be interested to see what they have at CES.
They should sell. They should make thousands of dollars off of that, I'm sure.
So this next story here is one that looks like, Jimmy, you put this on, is we're having a special holiday offer and want people to be aware of in case they do want to try out Stars. This isn't an ad or a promo or anything like that we get per se, but just so you guys know that for $5 a month you can try out Stars right now as a holiday special. It's there's a lot of good shows on there, so.
Yeah, it's 7-day trial and then $5 a month for 3 months.
Yep.
Yeah, I thought that was worth mentioning. I mean, if you're a cord cutter and you don't have any premium channels and you're thinking of adding one, I would say this would be a good cheap way to get into one. And it's even got me thinking about. Why not? $5.
This is the perfect time because Counterpart just came back a couple weeks ago. So if you do the $5 a month for 3 months, that should get you through the entire season of Counterpart. Because as I talked about, was it last week or the week before, I've been waffling because I want to watch Counterpart. But, the normal like $10 a month seemed a little steep for something where there's only one show that I want to watch. So actually, I might take advantage of this. I'll sign up with a new account and.
There's some pretty good shows on Stars too. So
yeah, but most of them I've already watched. Is the problem.
Counterpart. If you wanted to, if you're interested in some other shows, there's some other ones on there that are pretty good.
The Evil Dead. There was the Evil Dead show.
Evil Dead.
Ash vs. Evil Dead, which ended last year. So.
Light is on there.
Black Sails is another one.
Black Sails.
Right.
And my wife's favorite show, which is
Outlander.
Outlander, yes. I was about to say Highlander. That's not what it is. So
yeah, and one other thing. So this offer ends on December 31st.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So
5 days.
If you want it, get it now.
Yep. And it looks like we only have one more story for this week. It's been a light week for stories. DirecTV Now is quietly, without much fanfare, done minor updates to their DVR platform. Looks like you are now able to do a bit of if I just missed the beginning of the show, in the past 15 minutes recording and return to the beginning of the show for every show out there. And also looks like it's giving you more space on your DVR, so you now record 100 hours of content.
Well, no, they not yet. They're still they announced that they were going to sell more space. They still haven't given us that. We're still waiting, but they did what they did with this DVR update is add DVR support for HBO, which there wasn't before. But now that AT&T owns HBO, that was like a no-brainer.
Yeah.
But yes, the fact that you can now go back to the beginning of something that was already playing, it was an annoyance. Because like YouTube TV does that, where it gives you the option, depending on the version of the app, it'll give you the option if you want to start where it's at or go back to the beginning. Now DirecTV will do that too. So
yeah, but it looks like it's actually recording the first 15 minutes of every possible show. Where it says YouTube TV will just record every show of ones you've starred and add it to your favorites, and thus allow you to jump back. But looks like they're always covering everything, and no matter what, you can then go, oh, I do want to record this, or I do want to jump back to the beginning, and just catches you back up 15 minutes of the show.
Which is nice.
That's pretty cool.
Absolutely.
So here's a question about the DVR functionality for HBO. So this obviously is the live feed that's being DVR'd for HBO, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because if you already subscribe in any other way, you'd get access to HBO Go, which gives you the shows anyways without commercials, because it's HBO, it has no commercials. So
yes. I assume.
Why?
So I assume this is so that it shows up in your TV schedule in your DVR. So you don't, because otherwise you would go in. Think of it a lot like the Amazon ecosystem, where you've got all your shows, but then you've got the HBO, and you have to go into it, and that takes you into a sub menu, and then you go down through. Whereas this will put those shows actually in the DVR. So
and then their cable side of that company can go, look, we've got thousands and thousands of hours of people watching Game of Thrones on here, even though they would have just watched it some other way. So I don't know. Make the numbers fit the book somehow. That's what they've got to do. Go to AT&T, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and then the other thing is we are at the end of the year.
Yeah.
And there were several things that happened this year.
There were. We actually, one of the big things that happened this year is we had a lot of corporate acquisitions. We are talking this year about our year in review, and we're starting off with the fact that AT&T, in fact, purchased Time Warner, which is the people of HBO, which means it's that purchase is interesting because it didn't feel that big in the long run. I know that they did raise the prices a little bit, but other than that, it didn't feel like a big change happened there, which, if you ask me, is a good thing, because I don't think we'd want AT&T to mess with HBO too much. So we'll see how it goes in the future. We had more acquisitions. Disney is purchasing most of the Fox properties, which is pretty huge. There's still a couple out there that aren't technically owned by Disney, particularly the Fox News Channel and the Fox Sports Channel, which they will be purchasing, but then will have to immediately sell off to other people.
My theory, if I can go into crazy conspiracy theory, I think Disney only purchased the Fox stuff so that they could go back and cancel Last Man Standing. Because if you remember, ABC, owned by Disney, canceled Last Man Standing, so Fox picked them up. And then Disney said, oh, well, we're going to buy Fox. They really want to kill that show. Even though it had huge numbers, they're just determined to kill that show.
Man, they must have a problem with Tim Allen. I don't understand. Another one, Comcast bought Sky, which is not something that affects us in the States so much, but I'm guessing for our international viewers, that's an absolutely huge deal for them. I'm curious how big of a difference
I don't know all of the details of that. I know they were in a bidding war with Fox to buy Sky, which
poor Fox
sold out all their stuff to Disney, and then they tried to buy Sky, but then they got outbid by Comcast. I don't think they bought the whole network. I think they ended up with buying like between 30 and 50% of the shares. So it'd be a majority, but yes.
Fox sold the farm and tried to buy another farm, and they were denied, and now they're sitting there with nothing but money in their pockets. What are they going to do?
And I was up until this point, I was under the impression that Fox already owned Sky, that Sky was part of the Rupert Murdoch family, but apparently it wasn't. Because
I do think that there's maybe some investment into it, but I don't think they were owners.
So maybe that was the deal, is that they were trying to buy more shares to become majority owner, but Comcast maybe they were selling off that stuff to Disney to raise the capital to get the Sky, but they always say sky's the limit, right?
Well, apparently it's a little before sky's the limit for Fox this time, so sorry. Last acquisition we have listed here is T-Mobile, which has acquired Sprint. It hasn't actually happened yet, but it has been approved by basically all the standards bodies. And remember, the T-Mobile has promised to make the huge splash in the over-the-top streaming services in the future, and that was just recently delayed till next year, as we remember from the story last week. But it's gonna disrupt everything next year.
But I mean, that right there, it's important because it ties into another thing that we've been hearing about all year, as everybody's promising 5G to be the future of broadband. And this will move them, those two, a little bit closer towards that future, but I don't believe it. I'll believe it when I see it. We still don't even have 4G as defined by the spec.
Well, one thing that's interesting about that acquisition, I mean, what a difference! Like, what is it, like 5 years or so, 4 or 5 years ago, when AT&T was going to buy T-Mobile?
That was like 10. They've been trying to do this acquisition for like 4 years. They finally got traction this year. It was like it was 2008 when AT&T 2009. When AT&T
failed.
was trying to acquire T-Mobile.
Okay, yeah. All right, so maybe I got my years mixed up there, but still, I mean, it wasn't all that long ago, right?
No.
That when AT&T was going to try to buy T-Mobile, government said no, right? And now, just a few years later.
But this is different. This is different because number one, the acquisition of T-Mobile, or the merger of T-Mobile and AT&T, made sense from a technological standpoint because T-Mobile was already using AT&T's infrastructure. So that was a no-brainer, but that caused monopoly concerns because one of the biggest player would be essentially gobbling up the littlest player.
Right.
At the time.
At the time. But this time you've got number 3 and number 4 joining forces to fight 1 and 2.
Number 1 and 2.
Which is why it was, because Sprint over the last 10 years has fallen to be last place. You know, they used to be up there vying.
They used to be number 2.
They were fighting with Verizon to be number 2, right behind AT&T. But they didn't keep up with their with innovations.
Their biggest fall was that they picked the wrong technology for 4G, or maybe they picked the right one, but not the popular one. So,
well,
nobody.
Well, the thing is, both Sprint and Verizon use. Of course, I know they've all evolved to LTE now, but the third generation was the CDMA, right? Versus the GSM.
Yeah.
Right? And the thing is, in the GSM technology, everybody in the world uses that, except for a couple of carriers here in the States and maybe one big one over in China.
But you can't really blame that too much because Verizon also used CDMA. Which is the reason I left Verizon. But they did perfectly fine. But yeah, Verizon made that move into LTE a little bit quicker, and kind of Sprint kind of dragged their feet, and they suffered. But
well, it never was really a big deal until smartphones came along, right? Because the weakness of the CDMA technology is that, if you're talking on your phone, you can't access the internet at the same time, right? Toward a GSM will support that. You can actually surf the web and talk on a phone call at the same time, right?
But all right.
All right. Well, other than that, we have another new interesting review things. Is we do have the discussion about Amazon Echo versus Google Home, and the question becomes for you guys, just to thinking back about the year and how it went, who won, Google Home or Amazon Echo? And then also, of course, considering the word about Bixby and Cortana, if you wish to think about them as well. But beginning this year at this year's CES, we had a huge push by Google Home. They basically owned CES. They had Hey Google everywhere in that house. Hopefully it is my Google Home. So it's but then you have the Amazon and their huge sales, and always seem to be $1 less expensive than the Google product, and the power of Google of the Amazon to sell products. So and their new features that have been coming across. And the question is, in the mind share of the United States user, who do you think won?
Well, okay, frame the question like that, I would say Amazon won, right? But if you say, okay, which one won from a technology perspective, then I would say Google won.
I would argue that because as far as availability and integration, Google is way outpacing Amazon, because the Google Home is an extension of the Android assistant that is on our phones, that is currently listening to what I'm talking about because I triggered it. But so it's already everywhere just by putting out the home device. It was, and Amazon doesn't have that. Amazon is
okay. I suppose that's fair. I guess I'm thinking in terms of smart speakers.
Yeah,
that is what I'm thinking
but that's
about.
what I'm saying is because the smart speaker is an extension of the app that's on the phone, the app that's in my car. So I use it everywhere. When I'm out of the house, I'm using it. When I'm in the house, right now I say, "Hey Google, show's over." Hey Google, it's showtime.
That's pretty cool. That is pretty cool.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, so like and like I said, the integration. Yes, Amazon had they had a little bit of lead time, so they enjoyed a period where they were unopposed, but that gap was narrow, and they were surpassed by Google very quickly.
Well, so Amazon has, in talking good for Amazon, as much as I don't want to, Amazon has the skills, which are so easy to make, apparently. So almost anybody can make a skill, which, we made it really low bar for people to try to make something for the device.
That skill that I just did, it took me like 2 minutes.
Well, that was a routine, wasn't it?
Oh, I guess it would be a routine, but routine is what they call wouldn't it be the equivalent?
No. A skill is literally a program, a third party. Let's say I make a company called Super Monkey Things, and you can say ask Super Monkey Things to do the thing, and just by doing some very simple programming, it will know how to interface with your device and send the correct stuff.
I will say, in their to their credit, the Echo has the ability to apologize. If you say, Alexa, apologize.
Does it?
Yes. They screwed up something, and somebody wrote a skill so that everybody's Alexa would apologize for Amazon.
I'm certain that Google Home apologizes too. Tell it to apologize.
Hey, Google, apologize. It just said, I'm sorry. No, it went through, but the skill, it was some marketing company created a skill for the Echo, and it's got a whole bunch of things that apparently the company did, that Amazon did, that Echo will apologize
for.
Yeah.
We're sorry for selling your data to third parties. Yeah. We promise not to do it unless they give us a lot of money. Something like that. Acid Spider puts a link. Maybe it's to that. We'll see.
Oh, there it is. Thanks, Acid Spider. And then I think, like I said, I think Amazon, they've got coverage, but they don't have the wide market penetration that Google does, just by the fact that there are, more than half of all smartphone users are Android users.
But that doesn't necessarily mean they're using the Google Assistant.
But that's what I'm saying is, but how many of those people are in the Amazon ecosystem? So it.
Not sure, but yeah.
I'm just saying there's potentially more.
I guess what I'm saying is, it's hard to measure who won. When you ask the question, who won, it's hard to measure that.
I won't say who won. I will just say that at this point, I believe that Google is ahead. They have. They are further ahead.
I think from a technology perspective, yes, they're definitely ahead, right? But in terms of it's just that whole Amazon ecosystem and being able to sell you things and that kind of thing.
I think the mind share is basically in Amazon's court here. I really think that. I wish it wasn't true, but I really think that Amazon basically owns the mind share for your. I want to talk to that device. You don't think of Cortana. You don't think of Bixby. We usually don't think of Google.
Think of this. Every new car you buy has Amazon, has Android Auto. It has Android Auto. So, and that's one thing that really got me kind of to start using this more is, in the morning I can ask my Google or my Home for something, and then when I get in my car, the directions are already up on the screen. It knows where I want to go.
My car actually came with Apple CarPlay.
Aww. So the other things that went on this year is we finally got 4K to basically the de facto standard for your television out there. Very hard for you to find, or much less likely for you to find, a TV that was not 4K when you were looking for one to buy this year. Mm-hmm. As far as streaming services go, very few of them actually provided 4K streaming. We've started to see a little bit of 4K options in things like the Apple's Movie Store and Google's Play Movie Store and a couple other places, if I don't remember. So we're starting to see that, but Netflix 4K is only very specific devices, and
that
YouTube
was launched
4K.
Last year.
I know, but if it's still not available, not widely.
I was just saying, as far as new players, I don't think we really saw it, because last year was the boom for people saying, hey, we're offering 4K content, or we're able to provide it. We're still in that waiting period for people to create the 4K content. Kind of like where we were when Netflix said, hey, we can now provide 1080. It's like, great. Where's the 1080 content?
I think where we're at right now is that, we have progressed in the content that we see, right? I mean, you take Netflix for an example, right, to where you go back maybe 2 or 3 years ago, and it was just maybe a handful of shows that you could watch in 4K. Fast forward to today, there's quite a bit of content now. It's compelling enough to where you can kind of see, buying a 4K television, right? And the only thing, and Clyde's right in his point that, a lot of these 4K devices came out the year before, which is true. The one thing that I would say that got tacked on this year would be the HDR. The HDR kind of got tacked on to a lot of them this year.
There was a decent number of them last year.
Yeah, there was a good number of them.
There was something last year, but now after this year, all of them have it this year.
Yeah,
they all claim to have it.
Whether or not it actually meets the standard or it meets the spec,
as I say, VESA and other people call VESA, the standards body, has actually introduced HDR standards which need to be met. You can have HDR 400, 800, or 1000. Apparently, is the new thing. So. Yeah, it depends on how bright you can be.
Like I said, I'm still waiting for 4G on my phone that meets the spec, and I don't think we're ever going to see it.
HDR.
So, yeah, I mean, we've all been living with 3G plus.
That's okay. UDR is coming in the future. Ultra definition. Okay. We also have, as we spoke before, a little bit about the fact that we have some looming services coming in the future. Apple and Disney are making streaming services that should be supposedly arriving in 2019. This with the discussion earlier about T-Mobile possibly coming up with 2019. I'm curious what's going to happen, and this is going to be a good topic for our next week's episode, where we try to predict what happens in the future. So.
Yeah, I mean, it will be interesting to see, right? I mean, these services have been coming, and, meanwhile, we're all still watching the same Netflix, the same Hulu's, the same Amazon Prime, right? I mean, that tends to be the things that all cord cutters watch, right? It's going to be one of those three, and then maybe some of the smaller guys like Crunchyroll or something of that sort. But yeah, to these new services coming on board, I mean, can they make a splash or not? I mean, that's what's going to be the question. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. We'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah.
Next, we have 5G is promising to come out, and possibly we'll start seeing real 5G deployment next year. Do you think it will be the future of broadband?
I think it has the potential if it's truly 5G.
Mm-hmm.
Whether or not it's going to be soon, I think I do believe that the future is wireless. How soon? I don't know. It could be 20 years off, but yes, wireless is the future. Just I don't know if it's near future.
All right.
So here's what I would say about that. I think it comes down to, can they deliver on a consistent basis 100 megabits per second plus consistently? If they can deliver on that, then they get themselves a business, right? If it's something that, if it's less than that, then I think most people will say, well, what's the difference? My home Wi-Fi has that, right?
100 megabit while moving, gigabit while standing still.
I'll buy that.
That's 4G.
Yep. If they give me that, service, if they give me that service, I'm all in.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the 4G spec. But yeah.
Last but not least, we have DirecTV. They finally rolled out DVR to their streaming service this year.
Yep, that was early in the year, and it was good. It was a good move, and now I think everybody has it. So.
Everybody else figured it out before them, basically.
They were dragging their feet. They did multiple betas. I think they waited too long. They may have had technical issues. I don't know, because I didn't get to participate in the beta because I didn't know I was invited until it was done.
Well, imagine what it looked like right now if basically they had that working well at the start, or even mostly well, good enough to start. If that right when they came out, before PlayStation Vue had their version of it, which was a killer solution compared to what they had out without anything. If they had their solution right out the gates, they probably would have had a huge market share advantage versus everybody else. So, sorry, kind of important piece for some people now.
And I'll throw this out to the chat. Is there anything major that happened this year that we didn't cover in this list? You've got a few. We'll give you a few seconds while they compile that list and tell us exactly what we missed. We should probably take the time to thank the patrons, the people that support this show every month, that give us money for doing whatever this is that we're doing.
Yeah.
I mean, it keeps us coming back, so, keep it up.
Give us money to let us get on the internet once a week for about an hour and be able to just blab about stuff.
I know.
Particularly something in particular.
It's
but
crazy how that works.
I know.
But, I'm glad it does, because I enjoy doing this, and I enjoy the feedback and the suggestions and stuff that we have received from the patrons.
Yep.
And
when they're not trying to make us do silly things on stream, because we tell them we'll do whatever we want them to, and then they say take your shirt off, we're like, no.
Nah, there's a line, and that's not for us. That's more for you guys,
right?
We're not gonna subject you to that, but
you don't want to see that.
Mm.
If you're watching this,
put more shirts on. There you go.
Oh, are you a patron? So he's got. I want to see your shirt, by the way, Clyde. What's your shirt say? Run AHB. I guess I don't get it.
Yeah, probably not.
Okay,
we'll explain it later. at the request.
I know it's a play on Run DMC.
Yeah, when I opened this today, I groaned, but I said, you know what? It fits our target demographic, so all right, as requested.
Fair enough.
But yeah, if you're watching this after the fact, or when you're not currently a patron, you should consider it. We don't ask for much, but as a patron, you get premier status in our Discord server, and get the audio. You're the only people right now that get the audio version of the show beamed directly to you on your own custom RSS feed. It's super simple. You just, Patreon gives it to you. You throw it in your client, and away you go.
Yeah. I understand that somebody explains that it's so easy anybody can do it. I mean, it's just super easy. That's what I've been told.
Yep, and that is patreon.com/the VOD Squad, and we'll stop talking about this and move on to Jimmy. Jimmy brought us a special report.
That I did.
We should probably watch this.
Totally should.
So lean back, pay attention. We're going on a tour of Jimmy's house.
As you can see, they installed it, got it up on the wall here. Even in this particular shot here, you can see where the plastic was still stuck to the screen there.
Hello.
Yeah, start from the beginning, Clyde. Hello, this is Jimmy from the VOD Squad, and I'm here to talk to you about my brand new OLED 65-inch C8 LG television. I bought this television back on Black Friday, bought it from Best Buy, had the Geek Squad come out and install this television. As you can see, they installed it, got it up on the wall here. Even in this particular shot here, you can see where the plastic was still stuck to the screen there. Quite a nice feeling to always peel that plastic off a new television like that. So there's the finished product up on the wall. It looks great there. The screen is edge to edge screen, and just my old television was 52-inch. This is 65-inch, and the picture quality, which I'll show you here in a minute, is quite nice. Now, what I want to do now is I want to get around and show you just how thin this thing is. This thing is like maybe 3 millimeters thin. You can see right there just how thin that thing is. It's just incredibly thin, and you can see it gets thicker there toward the bottom. That's where all the circuitry is. That's where all your processing, your sound circuitry, all that bit is there toward the bottom. But this screen is just absolutely gorgeous, right? No doubt, best television I've ever owned. So what I'd also like to do is show you a bit of my setup here. So for sound, I've got Bose speakers. There's the front right speaker there. The rear right is hung back there. Rear left over on the other side. And we'll pan on around and see the front left up there. And then down on the floor is a double driver woofer there on the floor. I also have a center speaker just up underneath the television. But let me show you what drives all those speakers. So what I have here in the media cabinet is an Onkyo receiver that drives all those speakers that you just saw. And over on the left is my Apple television. Over on the right is my Roku player. So that gives you the general gist of my setup here, what I'm using to drive this new OLED television. So let's take a little closer look at the screen. Again, this screen is just amazing. I cannot, give enough adjectives to describe how well this thing plays and how well it performs. So this is the Apple TV interface. If you didn't recognize it. And what I'm going to show you is some content from Netflix here. Netflix, with all the 4K content that they put out now, is one of the things that motivated me to want to get this new 4K television. And again, this is my first 4K television I've ever owned. Right? So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to play you just a bit of 4K content. And you're not going to be, this 1080p video that I'm doing here is not going to do it justice at all. But I have to say, the picture quality of this television is absolutely amazing. I am 100% satisfied, 100% pleased with this television. One thing that you hear some reviewers talk about OLEDs is that, they're not as bright as what the LEDs are and all. They don't have as many nits as what an LED puts out. But I have to tell you, at least my experience, and from my perspective, I don't notice that at all. The brightness is quite nice here. You know, typically it is nighttime when I'm usually watching, and maybe that plays into it. But I have to say, not having as many nits as what an LED or one of Samsung's QLED televisions would have. I don't really notice that, right? And the performance of this television, which that's the OLED strength, the performance of this is really great. So all in all, this OLED television from LG is outstanding. So if you're in the market for a 4K television and you're considering OLED, then I recommend giving this one a look. Thanks for watching. This is Jimmy from the VOD Squad.
Ooh.
Yeah. So I need to ask, are you kicking yourself for waiting so long, or was it the right time?
Well, I think it was the right time, right? Because, I mean, part of the reason why I was hesitating was one, because I was looking at this last year as well, as you guys know. And if you've been watching the show, following the show, I talked about it a little bit last year too, about buying one. And so one of the things that made me wait from last year is the LGs last year, the processing wasn't quite up there. The processors they were using wasn't, quite up there with, like, say, the Sonys. They weren't quite on par with the Sony televisions. And then the Sony televisions, which did have the better processing, was like about $1,000 more, So I thought, okay, I'll just wait and see what happens for 2018. And so that's what I did. I waited until the 2018s came out. And when I went to go look at them back about, last May, I would say, that's when I said, okay, LG's caught up on the processing. And so I'll just wait and see what kind of deal I can get when Black Friday rolls around. And so Black Friday rolled around, gave pretty good deal, and so I went ahead and pulled the trigger.
Yeah. There was address a couple of the comments in the chat. So Media King pointed out it was so bright that it was affecting the camera. And and one thing I do like about the OLEDs is they aren't really affected by side lighting, because like with the LEDs can get washed out and the plasmas were reflective due to the fact that the OLED, each organic LED creates its own light. You don't get that washed out. You don't get the spotlighting from the sides like you do with the LEDs. I've never liked LED TVs, and it wasn't until the OLEDs started being shown off that I would finally consider moving from my aging plasma that is still the greatest.
Warming
TV.
your room.
Oh, right now it is helping to supplement the heat in my bedroom. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, one thing I will say, like, especially if you're watching, sports or something like that, the performance of those OLEDs, you don't get the tracking in the picture or anything like what you might get on the LEDs, right? And so, I mean, you can't beat the performance on it. And then it really kind of depends on what kind of picture you like, because if you like, true to life color in a picture, then OLED is the way you want to go. Mm-hmm. If you like more the saturated colors and that kind of thing, then typically LED or something like Samsung's QLED would be the way to go.
Yeah. And that's the, because the QLED is all processing. And you pointed out that the Sony has technically better processing.
Sure.
But I haven't liked the Sony in comparison with LG. And for the last 2 years, LG and Sony have had competing displays right next to each other at CES. And I'm constantly blown away by the LG. And the Sony, while they have one that looks absolutely amazing, that's like a $6,000 TV, and it's just like, yeah, no. And then they've got their Cletus system that I keep bringing up because of its terrible name. where with the interlocking panels, so you can build your wall. But yeah, I mean, and we'll be. I'm glad that the price of OLED is coming down, because the biggest feature that is the flexibility of the panel. So you can do the curve, you can do curves, and yeah.
So I have a logistics question for you.
Sure.
I see you did a really good job, or the guys at Best Buy did a good job hiding all the cables from that. Where did they go? Did you put them inside the walls, or do you have a wireless solution?
Yeah, so all the cabling is inside the wall.
They go up the chimney.
When we, yeah, and Wabbit, that
Not a thing it's
fireplace,
being used for anything else, so that's fine.
and to address Wabbit's question out there, yeah, that fireplace is fake, right? So, but yeah, so there's a cable that goes. So in South Florida, you have to have your house built to hurricane code, which means all the outside walls are all cinder block, right? So when they put up the drywall, they put up spacing between the cinder block. They put up these spacing boards between the drywall and the cinder block. So you got room in there to run the cabling. So there's a HDMI cable that runs from back of the television down close to the floor, and then it does a right angle turn over toward the media cabinet. And on the other side of the media cabinet is where all those cables come in, to include all the cables from the speakers that you saw up there as well.
Yeah. And the only other comment I have is, you let the Geek Squad inside your house. You are a braver man than I. I won't even let them on my property.
Were you part of the Geek Squad?
No, I worked for the company, and they constantly broke the stuff I was setting up.
Yeah. Well, the reason why I went with the Geek Squad is because I'm a busy man and just didn't have the time to do it. And matter of fact, while they were hanging the television, I was up here in my office on conference calls. I just had just enough time to go down and take the couple of pictures that you saw in the video, right? Was about all the time I had to go down there and fool with it. I let my wife sit there and watch them do it. Matter of fact, she actually helped them pull the cable through. We had to run. So I had a 1080p television that was there before, and it had the 1.0 HDMI cable installed. So I had to buy a new 2.0 HDMI cable, and they just tied on to the original cable that was there and just pulled it through, right? And so that's how I got the 2.0 HDMI cable in there.
Raka? Yeah. Well, we will take that video. We'll be posting that up on the YouTubes here in the next day or so. So keep an eye out for that. Thanks, Jimmy, for giving us a look at your house.
Absolutely.
Right, and then the next thing we need to take a look at, the movie draft. Let's check in with the Big Voice Jay.
Yeah.
Welcome to your Movie Draft Minute, presented by DiamondClub.tv for the week of December 24, 2018. I'm your host, Big Voice Jay. Children. You spend the first 2 years teaching them to walk and talk, and the next 16 telling them to sit down and shut up. Let's go to the scoreboard. Team Movie Party's in last place with Bumblebee's $34 million and Second Act's $10 million debuts, bringing their total to $222.9 million. Team VOD Squad falls to 5th place with debuts from Welcome to Marwen and Vice, bringing their total to $262.8 million. Team Drunkage Gaming moves up to 4th place with $100 million from Aquaman and $6 million from Holmes & Watson, bringing their total to $329.4 million. Team Game Night's in 3rd place with $378.2 million. Team Ritual Misery's in 2nd place with $455.5 million. And with $49 million from Mary Poppins Returns, it's Team Have a Drink with $482 million. That's your Movie Draft Minute. All totals are accurate as of December 26, 2018.
So as Del Noche pointed out, Mortal Engines let Ritual Misery down. I'm willing to say worst movie of the season.
You saw it?
No. I'm saying as far
worst
as numbers.
Performing movie.
As numbers, I mean that movie made El Royale's performance looked good.
No, sir. No, sir. I see your movie called Mortal Engines, and I also wish to bring into your knowing the movie called Johnny English Strikes Again.
Oh, did
yeah,
I thought Johnny did better.
I
Maybe
don't
not.
think so. Looking
I'll
at
have to look at that, but yes.
Looking at Mortal Engines, it's already made $12.9 million versus Johnny English, which stopped at $4.2 million.
Okay, so second worst.
Second worst. Oh, my goodness gracious! I've just got to say it right now. Congratulations to all the other teams, including Movie Party, for making excellent choices based on whichever you chose. Because obviously, whatever we picked.
Yeah.
Could not make money. Even a movie that should have made $300 million could not make that kind of movie half that much in Fantastic Beasts. I cannot believe how crappy our choices were this time around. So congratulations to all of you. We still have Serenity at the end to wait it all out. Who knows? Maybe that one will just blow the box offices away. We'll just make a huge comeback, but somehow I doubt it.
Yeah, so Movie Party, we've got a couple movies that have legs that are going to continue to make money through the beginning of the year. So I'm going to rise. We're going to pass you soon. We'll see how far. I've got my eye on second place, but we'll see. To answer the question, Stephen Cogswell asked if Mortal Engines is a sequel to Mortal Instruments. I think, based on the numbers, it's a sequel to Mortal Kombat.
Oh, man.
And Del Noche, yeah, I agree. I do think that Game Night does have a chance.
Yes, they do. Ritual Misery, though, they had it.
And to address TP Poker, honestly, I have no idea what the second biggest movie at Box Office 2019 will be. I don't even know what movies are coming out in 2019. All I know is the movies that are out right now. And everybody go see Bumblebee and Spider-Man if you haven't already. Everybody that saw Aquaman will be going to see those next. So
maybe Aquaman has done okay where it's starting.
Done okay.
It's done fairly well for itself, and it might actually go up and make a somewhere near 180 million, maybe even 200 million in the long run. So that's not bad for that movie at all, if you ask me.
Hey, Del Noche says Bumblebee was pretty good. So,
well, okay, that's wonderful. So our movie that we had picked before Vice was Alita: Battle Angel. I'll be watching how well that movie does next during our next draft because I'll be very angry. In fact, I think since we already paid for it, we should get it automatically next year for the next draft. But instead, we get Vice, which has. Cannot believe we got a $4 million movie for. Yeah, I'm sorry. Very upset about that.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm interested. I'm interested to see where this goes because there are a couple teams that have a shot. It's not one-sided like last time. Mm-hmm. And there's nothing set in stone. No idea where this is going to end up. With the way that movies are performing or not performing, the ones that shouldn't have done any good, making tons of money. Venom. And
I don't know. There's people I've been talking to. They said they actually like the movie. I don't know. Maybe it's just you hate things that people like.
Well, that's why it did so well because I hated it. I didn't hate it enough to walk out like I did with a movie over the summer. But yes, right. I did not. And it was just basically the crappy camera work. Just terrible camera work. Especially in the race or the chase scene. But yeah, because that's what everybody wants to watch. A blurry, shaky chase scene. Where you can't even see what the vehicles are doing.
I also want to make a special special notice of the movie On the Basis of Sex. It is not showing up on our list right now for some reason, but it did come in over the weekend for the last couple of days with $466,000. Just so you know, because it was released in 33 theaters, and that's it. So, it's not bad for 33 theaters, quite frankly.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, let's wrap this thing up. Get on over to some rants and raves, which is not going to work now.
Yeah.
Because
rant
whatever.
And rave about this rant and rave.
All
number.
right, that's my rant. Somebody tell me what's rant.
I will start. I want to talk about my son, and I want to talk about something that he's been watching a lot of recently. Do you guys remember the 80s when there were shows that were basically television shows designed specifically to sell you toys? Transformers, He-Man, like that kind of thing. G.I. Joe. The whole point of those shows were for you to basically for your kid to go, oh, cool, I want to go play with those, and go to the store. Hey, mommy, daddy, can I have this toy for our home? My son is one of those right now. And the show is called Beyblade.
Oh,
and he's watching
that's made a resurgence.
He's really into it now, and over Christmas he had asked for nothing but Beyblade. And he's been buying some himself, and he just took some of his Christmas money, and he just went to the store and bought more Beyblades. And so he right now we did a count. He has 25 of these darn tops. Yes, that's right. I said tops. You can make a fully entertaining, and is actually halfway decent anime show based on tops. Yep. Just wanted to say that that's a thing, and I'm kind of knee-deep in it by proxy.
I was going to say, because I remember Beyblade was introduced in the early 2000s to compete with Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh!
Go ahead.
I was going to say that's when, or maybe it was late 90s, but the beauty of that one in comparison was you actually had a physical thing that, when you do the spinning top and they bounce off each other, and that, whereas the other ones were all just fantasy, use your imagination card stuff, but it never really seemed to go anywhere. I'm surprised that it's making a resurgence.
Well, apparently they came out with this first edition that was just tops, and now they've got these new ones that are literally spring-loaded tops, so if they hit each other hard enough, they burst apart into pieces. And now they've got a new series, and I've watched one episode or half of an episode of one of the new series my son's watching. They changed the animation style. It looks horrible if you ask me, but whatever. Not my thing, so...
Yeah. And which is funny that you bring that up, because while I was at a hotel over the weekend, you just put the Cartoon Network on because that's the only station that I'm guaranteed to be able to stand for more than a couple hours at a time. They are reviving the competitor to Beyblade, which was, I can't remember what they're called. They were like little balls, like Pokeballs, but you throw them and then they pop open into like dinosaurs and stuff.
Yeah.
Bakugan.
Those.
The Bakugan. Yeah. They just did like they've got some new anime on Cartoon Network pimping that, which I was like, I thought that the toy line was dead too. So, yeah, interesting.
They'll keep bringing them back again and again. I mean, how many editions of Transformers have they ever come out with? Like 20?
I mean, you've got like 30. You've got 30 versions of Pokemon, but that's never gone away. That's been consistent since like 97.
Yeah. On a related note, I want to know, since Pokemon, that's a show which I don't ever watch and really don't care that much, but I have one question. If somebody could tell me, why does Ash have these weird Z marks on his cheeks? Is that just weird cheekbones?
It's artistic styling.
I'm done asking. It's all okay.
Yeah, it's just their weird artistic styling. Although when they started the Pokemon Go thing, I was super excited until I found out I couldn't be on Team Rocket, and then I was angry. Because Team Rocket was like the whole reason to watch that show.
Yeah, they're the bad guys, right? They're just absolutely over the top.
They're awesome. They're like the best part of the show.
Okay.
All right. Hey, Jimmy, what you got? Other than a new TV.
Well, other than the new TV, but kind of related, when you buy an LG television, they give you a 30-day free trial of Sling TV. So I thought, okay, it's been a while since I've used this. Let me just sign up and see if anything's changed. And so I signed up with it, and I got to say, I liked it when I first, started using it, and used it for, a couple of days solid there, just to, rather than my, regular Hulu Live that I subscribe to normally. And so there for a couple of days, I was thinking, okay, if I like this well enough, am I going to give up the Hulu Live, right? And I was like, okay, well, let me do a real comparison here. Let me see, what I notice, in difference. And I would flip between the two to see, what differences it might be. And all in all, I like Sling TV. It's a good service. The performance on it was really good and all. But once I took a closer look at it, I could tell maybe that much difference in the fidelity of Hulu Live. Hulu Live beats it. Maybe it was because I got the OLED television now, right? If you don't have an OLED television like me, maybe you don't notice any difference at all, right? But I could notice just a little bit of difference on it, right? On the fidelity. Not even really much to really complain about all that much, right? But the one thing, me being a Hulu subscriber, even if I did go with Sling television, I still would keep the regular Hulu, right? Mm-hmm. So I would pay for that anyhow, and so then I was like, okay, all right, so maybe not quite there, not enough to convince me to jump ship from Hulu Live yet, but they're very close. I mean, it is very close. They've come. It's a whole lot better now than when we first tested the service. What was that? Maybe a couple of years ago or something like that.
About a year and a half ago.
Year and a half ago, whenever that was, right? And so they've come a long way since then, and I would say that if you're considering, Sling TV, I'd say check it out, because they've really improved the service. I really liked it.
Awesome. I was gonna talk real quick. I've actually got a rave. I've been looking for like smart plugs. Because I don't, a lot of people have the smart light bulbs. If you do the Philips Hue, you have to invest like $200 in a system, get the hub. Mm-hmm. And when we were at CES last year, I saw two brands, TP-Link and Wemo. Both had these individual units that if you just want to turn a light on and off, you just plug it into the outlet. And then you plug the light into it. But I mean, I really liked the Wemo until I found out it was a Belkin brand, and then they was out. I wasn't interested. But the TP-Link ones, but I couldn't bring myself to spend like $25 or $30 for a plug. Well, this week, the TP-Link smart plug is on sale for $16 at Best Buy. I ended up buying like 6 of them, which is how I was turning my light on and off. And the nice thing about these, if you're looking for a smart plug, nice thing is they fit into the outlet, and there's still enough room to use the bottom outlet.
Yay!
Some of the smart plugs I've seen, they're
circular.
They're circular. They're weird shape, and they block. So you can still continue to use. And then it does work with Google Assistant or Amazon Echo. There is an Apple, the native app for these that you use to set it up initially. You can control them. Is available for Apple as well, but I don't know if it works with Apple Assistant with Siri at the moment, because. But
look for HomeKit compatibility.
But I mean, it's TP-Link. TP-Link has great quality stuff. They up until I moved to Ubiquiti, they were my networking choice for good quality at a low price. So yeah, if you want, right now is the time to do it. This is the HS 105. They have a couple different models, but it's $15.99 on sale right now at Best Buy.
Cool. If it were me, the one I've been looking at is actually the TP-Link version of the light switch and the wall for the light switch. They have a version of it of that too there, because all my lights are already on switches. Yeah, and it'd be nice to have something that I can use. Have a physical switch.
These are great for in my parents' house. They have a couple lights that are on timers.
Right.
These work great for something like that. Plus, in using the app, you can group a bunch of these together. So, like lamps that aren't necessarily on a light switch. So, if you don't want to turn on a light in a room that isn't attached to a switch, these things are great. And any appliances, they also have a physical button on the side of the switch or on the side of the plug. You can see that button there.
So if everything's not working, you just push the button.
Yep.
Yay!
You can. And that was the other thing that I really liked about these, is it's not all or nothing. So you can still switch it. And yeah, I had to go in, set up their app, the Kazaa app first. It discovered it. Once it was there, then I was able to go in within a couple minutes. I had the thing set up in my Android Assistant. And now, when we're done, I just say, "Hey Google," and it's not listening to me now, but it goes over, and then the light goes off.
Very cool.
Because in the past, as you remember, if I forget to turn that light on, I have to stand up, reach up, because it's way up there. Now I don't have to.
Saves you from standing up.
I know.
Just what we need.
That's the future of what was that movie about the robot here on Earth that was doing all the cleanup, the Disney one, while all the people were gone? You don't remember the trash collecting robot that falls in love with the other robot?
Yeah.
And then all the fat
was
people,
it Wall-E?
Wall-E.
Oh yeah,
Wall-E. That's the future that I aspire towards, where I can just sit in a chair all day and do my thing. So
of course.
And okay. Well, I think that should wrap up this episode. If you're joining us for the first time, we're here every Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Central. We've got past episodes on YouTube. Past audio episodes are available on archive.org. You can reach us at the VOD Squad on Twitter. And we will be back on Monday at 5:30 p.m. Eastern for the Streamathon. Raising money for the kids. Which kids, I'm not sure, but it'll be kids.
Well, we'll figure that out.
Yeah. And, it's a worthy cause. This has become our yearly tradition to participate in the Diamond Club Streamathon. And, yeah. If you're watching us live, stick around. We're gonna go in and we're gonna go into the post show, and we'll vote on we'll vote on the stream titles. If someone wants to throw up the remind, bang that remind, and then we'll see everybody on Monday.
Yep.
All right. Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Post show.